The following is a presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Broadcasting from the campus of Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, the Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show is on the air. Your chance to hear from Liberty Women's Basketball head coach Carey Green comes your way on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. The Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show is presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Start banking with Freedom First today. The Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show is also brought to you by Carter Bank, Life Lived Full, Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Freedom Heating and Air, serving those who serve us. Carl Miller Realty, caring, competent, trusted advisors. Lynchburg Nissan, nobody beats our prices. Nobody. Sentry Exteriors, experience and quality you can trust. Schedule a free estimate at sentryexteriors.com. And by Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow.
The Hodges with 5 at the top of the arc. She dumps it inside to Smuda. Smuda scoops to the hoop and scores. Beautifully run offense by the Lady Flames.
Now let's talk Liberty Flames women's basketball. Here's your host, the voice of the Lady Flames, Jamie Hall.
Welcome into this week's Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show. Lady Flames are coming off a tough loss down at the University of Tennessee, but a game that you could take a lot of positives from. The team was able to score 93 points against a Power 4 school on their home floor. The problem was the defense gave up 109 points. We'll talk to Coach Carey Green about the goods and the bads of that game a little bit later on during the show today. Kind of an off week, slow week for Liberty, as they'll have this week without any games, just practices, and then on Sunday, I guess it depends on what you consider Sunday. Some people consider Sunday the beginning of the next week. If you look at a calendar, it kind of is. Some people would say Sunday is the end of this week. Well, either way, they're playing on Sunday at Towson, which begins a very interesting road trip where they play Towson on Sunday and then fly all the way out to Phoenix. Towson, for those that don't know, is in Maryland. Then they fly all the way out to Phoenix and play Grand Canyon on Wednesday before Thanksgiving, fly back, have Thanksgiving, and then the next home game that you'll have a chance to see the Lady Flames is Christopher Newport the following Saturday. So the Saturday after Thanksgiving, go ahead and make your plans now. LibertyFlames.com, you can get your tickets. But now we welcome in our featured Lady Flame this week, which is Pien Steenbergen. Pien, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I got to start with the most obvious. The Lady Flames have an unfortunate number of knee braces over on, like if the three of you are on the bench at the same time and sitting near each other, it's almost like you're doing an advertisement for a medical supply firm. Not what you want, but the fact that you've gone through the ACL and you've got teammates that have dealt with it also. Has that been helpful?
Yes, definitely. It was hard for me, but I think Emma and then Caroline definitely helped me get through it mentally, especially, and just telling me how they got through it and what helped for them. And we're all back now, so it's good.
Your injury came before last season, so you missed the entirety of last year. Not that you want to have an injury, certainly. But what were some positives that you were able to take from that time off and just sitting back and kind of watching things?
I mean, it's positive that I did happen before the season, so I got redshirt. So I do have an extra year, which is good. And then I also think just because I came in here pretty young, so now it's not like I'm very old for my year, I guess, So, and then also, I mean, I feel like I was able to coach the team on the sideline, and I was able to see the game a different way, and it was good. Yeah.
Off the court, I'm sure there were probably some battles back and forth. Anytime something like that happens, there's going to be the why me moments, but then some learning lessons too? Yeah,
definitely. It was, I would say last year was one of the hardest years of my life, especially not being home during the injury and not being able to do anything. Like I was on crutches for a while, and I still lived in the dorms. I couldn't even get out of my bed by myself, and just stuff like that. It was hard, but it helps you grow as a person, and it helped me grow faithfully too. So yeah.
And I guess one of the positives in where you are at Liberty, as opposed to some other place, that anywhere you go, they're gonna take care of your knee.
Yeah.
But you had some resources here that were going to take care of your mind and your heart as well.
Yeah, I would say obviously my teammates, my friends have really helped me through it, and then I think Laura and Will make a great team, and I was very confident coming back from the injury, so that helped too. Yeah.
How are you? I mean, how I guess 100%. Like, how does that work? Are you, once you're cleared to go, you got to wear the brace? Is there a point when you don't have to wear the brace anymore?
Yeah, some people don't even wear the brace. Like, you don't have to, but I think Laura likes it just for like the first year, just to be safe. And after like a year, maybe year and a half, you can just see like how are you feeling without the brace. Maybe I can start practicing without the brace and then see if I feel good and confident, and then you don't have to wear it.
Did you have any hesitancy that first time that you were back out on the court at 100%?
Yeah, it was a little scary. And you always, like, sometimes I still think about, like, what if it happens again? Or, like, I don't want to go through that again. But just try to play normal, I guess, and not to focus on it too much. And then once I, like, start playing it, like, I don't really think about it anymore, so.
Well, I'm definitely not a doctor. I didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn Express or whatever that stupid commercial is last night. But I will say this, from what I understand, sometimes when you go through an injury like that, you come out of it even stronger. Like, there's baseball pitchers that have to have that Tommy John surgery, and they end up having a faster fastball, and they have more movement on their curveball and all that kind of stuff. When they come out of the injury, it's almost like your body heals twice as well as it was before. So keep the hope there. And I know it's going to be in the back of your mind a little bit, but as time has gone on, has that kind of, no, I'm reminding you of it, unfortunately, but is that something that is kind of not as prevalent in your brain?
Yeah, definitely. I think my first few practices and games, like, you just keep thinking about it, and you still feel your knee a little bit, like it still hurts a little bit, but now I'm just, like, it just feels normal, I guess. Just the brace, but it doesn't bother me.
What was the first thing that kind of came back to your game, and what's the thing that maybe you're still working towards getting back to where you want to be?
I think just because I was out and, like, watching them play the whole year last year, I think mentally, like, understanding the game, it's still the same and maybe even better. But I do think that when playing, it's, like, hard to sometimes adjust to the game and adjust to the speed, and being able to, like, knock down some shots. I feel like I should get better at doing that. Like, and just, yeah. But overall, I think I'll be fine, yeah.
One of the nice things was you, as you're making this transition back into playing, you got to have some visitors as well that I'm sure was nice and encouraging. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my dad and my grandpa and my sister came to visit, and they saw the first two home games, so that was really nice. Just for me, also to have that confidence and going into those games and having them be there to support me, because they know how hard it was for me to, like, get through that progress and, like, getting back and everything, and just them being there to see me play it meant a lot.
I feel like I've asked this question before, so I'm embarrassed to say that I don't remember the answer if I did. But remind me of everybody's names.
So my sister's name is Cato, my dad's name is Marijn, and my grandpa's name is Harry.
So your dad's name almost has a Spanish kind. The way you roll the R is when I think more like Claudia would be telling me that name than you would be.
We do have some names that we roll the R, yeah.
So say it one more time.
Marijn.
So would the American version be Martin, probably?
Well, there's no T in there. You spell it as a Marijn.
Okay, so there really isn't an American
No.
version of that's.
No.
Well, there's not really an American version of your name either.
Yeah.
What are some of the good ones that you've heard as far as people misunderstanding?
A lot of people just call me Pien or something, or I feel like it's every time I like order something, this is like a funny thing I do. I just say my name is Sarah because I don't like, otherwise I have to say my name like 10 times. I have to tell them how to write it, and then they're going to say it wrong anyway. So I'm just like, they're like, oh, what's the name for the order? And I'll just say Sarah because it's easy.
Okay, so now that helps me kind of understand, because I have friends that were from China, Thailand, and they would come up with, they would pick an American name.
Mm-hmm.
It was, Pam, and it was Steve, and you go, that is definitely not the name on your birth certificate or your driver's license, but just easier. It just, you don't have to deal with having to explain to everyone what the name is. That's pretty good. What do your teammates call you?
P. A lot of people call me P. It's easy. And just Pien. I mean, once I like explain to them how you say it, they know how to say it. So yeah.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
Well, let's get back to your family visiting. How long of first of all, for those that like the travel aspects of it, how long of a flight is it from the Netherlands to here? And I'm sure there's probably a layover or two.
Yeah, so most of the time they fly out to Washington, D.C., because that's like international airport. So if you get a straight flight from there to Amsterdam, it's like 8 hours. And then they just like drive down here, which is like a 3-hour drive.
Okay.
So like, because if you fly to Lynchburg, you would have to like do like 2 layovers or something, which takes longer and it's more expensive. So they just fly to D.C. and then drive down here.
Is the Netherlands left-hand drive or right-hand drive?
Right-hand drive.
Okay, so then
same
it's
thing.
no problem.
Yeah, no.
It's not that big, other than maybe figuring out some of the weird road signs and stuff like that.
Yeah. People do drive a little different here, but overall it's normal.
What did you guys get to do while they were in town?
Well, obviously watch the games, and then my dad and grandpa were only there for like 4 days, so I just showed them around in Lynchburg. We drove around downtown, and they got to eat their first Chick-fil-A. And
Nice.
showed them the campus and everything. And we didn't do anything special, I'd say, just because we had like 2 games. It was kind of busy, but they watched almost every practice. And yeah, and then my sister, she stayed for another week, so she stayed for 10 days. And we went to the men's game at home, which was fun. And we drove to Charlottesville to just walk around there, and we got some Canes for the first time for her too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Canes or Chick-fil-A? Who won the vote?
So she likes Chick-fil-A better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm on her team.
Yeah.
Are you on the opposite?
I'd say I like the Canes toast and then the Chick-fil-A sauce.
What about the fries?
The fries are like, I like them both.
So that's a push.
Yeah, and then the chicken, I like them both. So it's really
Okay. See, I got to go with the Chick-fil-A chicken, I think.
Okay, yeah.
But the toast is good. Now that's a good point. That is good.
And I like Chick-fil-A sauce better too.
Yeah, that stuff has got some sort of drug in it or something. Like it's addictive. Like you can't. I look at how many calories are in. I go, I should not eat more than one of these. And then halfway through, I've eaten so much on each chicken tender. I go, well, I guess I'm going to have to open up another pack. There's just no way around it.
My sister took some home with her too.
Like a bottle?
Well, we didn't get to. She just got like those little packs.
Oh, well, I've got a Christmas present for you then. Grab a couple bottles of those from the grocery store, take them home.
Yeah, I should.
Younger sister, right?
Older sister.
Older sister.
Yeah,
okay, because you guys, honestly, there's some pictures that you could be twins. I mean, you look a lot alike. So it's just a little, couldn't be much older.
So she's 21, I'm 20. So,
okay, so very, very
like
close.
A year. Yeah.
And you guys seem to be, judging by your social media posts and stuff, you guys are pretty close.
Yeah, very close. Yeah, I think I miss her most out of everybody at home. Yeah.
We won't tell anybody else that.
Everybody knows. They know. Yeah.
Well, so when you are home or when she's here? Of course, when she was here, you were showing her around, and there was kind of a specific agenda. But when you guys are home, what what kind of trouble do you get into?
Well, I think the thing I love doing most with her is just being around her. Like, I don't think we have to do something special, like just playing games or just talking or listening to music together, driving around together, sitting on a couch together, like watching a movie. It's really anything. Like, I don't think when I go home, it's always like busy just because I'm not home for that long. So I want to like see everybody and, make my rounds and stuff, I guess. So I also just like being with her and not having to do like anything special.
Seemed like she was your number one fan when you were playing on the national team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she came to the tournament too. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What does your sister do?
So she's in college now.
Okay.
She's almost done. She has one more year, and she does tourism. So this past like few months, she worked in a hostel in Belgium. So,
Really?
Yeah, she did like an internship there. So.
I bet she's got some stories. I've
Yeah,
heard of hostel stories.
I know. I actually visited her in August when I was able to go home. So I got to see where she works and live for a little bit. Yeah.
What does your dad do?
He has his own car company.
Really?
Lease company.
So if I was looking to get a new car, I go to your dad.
Yeah, so he does like leasing. So if you want to lease a car, then you go to my dad. Yep.
Is leasing big in the Netherlands?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You can do that here, but I think I would say it's probably not as popular as buying is here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, any specific? Is there a brand of car that's Dutch, or do you have
I don't think
European
so.
from other European countries?
Like just any car. I feel like he brings a lot of cars at home, and I'm just like, okay, I like this car, and he's like, oh, it'll be gone in a week or something. Yeah. So it's just all types of cars. Yeah.
I'm fascinated by countries in Europe and their culture because I'm sure there's American culture there too because a lot of Hollywood movies are going to be all over the world. Mm-hmm. But the English culture, the British English culture, has kind of an influence there. There's going to be French culture that has an influence there, and German culture. Mm-hmm. But then when you go to it's not that you guys are a tiny country, but I've never seen a Dutch movie. I've never seen I don't think, maybe you can correct me on this, a Dutch song, but I know that there's that culture there as well, Dutch television shows and Dutch movies and whatever. But what are some things that are uniquely Dutch that you go, you need to know about this?
That's a tough question. I guess like tulips and like those fielded tulips. We have really good cheeses and I don't know.
Are there any original television programs that are?
Yeah,
I
mean, we obviously like when you're in the Netherlands, you would see them, but I don't think people here in America would watch like some Dutch show or like listen to like a Dutch artist or something. I've been trying to like put my friends onto them. I'm like, oh, we have some some good songs that you have to listen to. So, but I don't like, just because Netherlands is such a small country and nobody really speaks Dutch. It's like it's like its own country. Like I wouldn't say Americans know about it. Yeah.
What is the Dutch style of music? Because I think of Andre Rieu, and he does concerts in the United States, and it's more orchestral. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but it's fun. Like, have you followed him at all?
Not really. I don't really listen to that type of music, I wouldn't say.
Well, I don't either, but he'll have some pop artists with him. So he'll have, I don't know, the people who did the Macarena, for example.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, there's 50,000 people in this concert, and they do some sort of a concert, I think maybe on the square somewhere in Amsterdam, and there's maybe 100,000 people. It's insane. And then they've got the people, everybody's doing the Macarena. It's really fun. So when I think of Dutch music, I probably think of him, and I think of it just being high energy. Is that fair in general?
It really depends. Like, just like in America, you have like different people, like you have pop and rock and whatever. Like we have that too. I would say my generation, I guess, listens to more like like Dutch like hip hop music and some rap, maybe some R&B and stuff like that. And then, but I do think, for me personally, I like the older Dutch music better than the newer ones. Like the people that don't even make music anymore, but I just listen to like old songs of them. Yeah.
I feel like there's a Dutch DJ that if you said, "Oh, you're gonna know this guy."
What's his name? There is one.
Well, you'll think of it later, and
Yeah.
we'll edit it in. We'll just put it. We'll superimpose it right on the screen right now. But but yeah, I just feel like that there's some actresses and actors or that have kind of made that transition and maybe are now Hollywood or now tour the world, and so I can't put my brain on any names, but well, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about kind of the academic side of things, and then we'll touch on how basketball has gone so far this season. Maybe we'll think of the Dutch DJ that both of us are struggling right now to remember. But we're back with more of the Lady Flames basketball show right after this timeout.
What's important isn't that Freedom First has been in business since 1956. What's important is how we've been doing business since 1956. Since day one, we have been accountable to our members, not stockholders. We make loans that cost less, offer savings plans that pay more, and give back to our community, and that hasn't changed. What has changed is our ability to serve you with more locations and more technology to simplify your financial life. Freedom First. It's a place where anyone in our region can bank for good.
Black Friday savings have started early at Lynchburg Nissan. Enjoy up to $8,300 off MSRP on select 2024 models, or get 0% financing on 5 of our most popular models. These savings won't last long, and with inventory moving fast, now's the time to take advantage. Plus, trade in your car and receive up to 130% of fair KBB value. That's right, huge savings, 0% financing, and large trade-in values. Black Friday starts now. Head to Lynchburg Nissan today.
You're listening to the Liberty Women's Basketball Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Today's show will continue after this 1-minute timeout on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels and the Liberty Flames.
Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. With a focus on honesty, education, and excellence, they light the way to savings, home comfort, and a greener future. Educating homeowners about the power of solar and energy efficiency is their winning game plan. Give Earthright Mid-Atlantic a call today at 434-200-9716 or visit erepower.com.
Welcome back into the Liberty Women's Basketball Show. We're here with Pien Steenbergen, and we have figured it out. It is Martin Garrix, and I'm probably not saying that as well as I should as far as how to. Did you roll anything with his?
Martin Garrix, kind of, yeah.
Okay.
He did good.
Okay, but he's very famous, isn't he? I mean, I don't know why I couldn't remember his name for some reason, but yeah, he's popular and tours the whole world.
Yeah. Yeah, he is one of the most popular DJs, I guess.
Do you like that style of music?
I don't know. I'm not really a DJ kind of girl, I guess. Like, I don't really listen to just like DJs, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
But
so you're not going to go to EDC. That's not your thing.
No, not really.
Some people live for that.
I know.
And then
we have a lot of like festivals you can go to in the Netherlands with like a lot of those type of DJs and stuff. Yeah.
And it's unexpected people sometimes. There's people that I know that I would have never guessed that, and all of a sudden they're wearing neon and have glow sticks, and I go, "What are you doing?" I'm going to EDC, or yeah. So, oh well, had no idea that was your thing. But I've never gone, and I wouldn't say that I'm the biggest fan, but they live stream it, and so there have been a few times that at like 2 a.m. I'm awake and I go, oh yeah, EDC's this weekend, and I'll punch it up and watch on YouTube for an hour or so. So that's about the extent of my interest in it. But it's just the energy thing. It's just high energy. I like anything that's high energy, I think. And so now let me ask you this. There's been a few times that during our conversation that I've used a slangish type term. Is it to the point now that you've been in the States enough that the slang stuff all makes sense now?
I would say so, yeah. I think, some words I'm still like, what do you mean by that? Or like, I just ask them, I'm like, oh, what does that mean or something? But I'd say like, I definitely know more slang now than I used to. Just talking to people and just being around people, yeah. Does the
of course, you speak very good English, so it's gotten past that point now. I think you're fine, but I'm not sure about your father, your sister, your family. Do the apps, are they pretty good? I've never tried that, but can you speak into? Have you tried that where you speak into the app? And especially, you've got teammates from everywhere, Spanish or whatever. Do you ever use those apps?
Not really. Me personally, like I most of the time, even though I don't really know what the word means, like I can understand what you're saying. So I don't really use that, no. Even sometimes I'm like struggling because I know like a Dutch word that I want to say, but I'm struggling to like say it in English. So then I look it up or something. But no, I don't really use it, no.
And you see those commercials, like someone's, I don't know what Asian country that the person was in, but they say, I would like to have some of the spicy food. And I don't know why I said it like a robot. You don't have to say it like a robot. But I would like to have some spicy food. And then the I'm assuming it was Thai. The Thai person would go, oh, this is too hot for you.
Yeah.
It's just, no, give me a try.
I have seen that, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm kind of curious to see how well that works. Maybe we can, not for this, but later we'll test it out, and you can speak in Dutch and see how well it translates. I always wonder about those translators, because you see professional athletes that can't speak English yet, and they'll have a translator with them, and I wonder how many liberties the translator takes. Like, how did they do it perfectly, or are there times when they're just kind of lazy and the person at the broadcaster asks this long question and they just go to the he wants to know how you're doing. Doesn't ask the whole question.
It probably is like that. I think a lot of things that we say in the Netherlands, you would say differently here. So if I'm trying to like translate something like in my head, I guess from Dutch to English, you have to like say it in a different way. Like especially my freshman year here, I was like saying stuff, and then they're like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Oh, I mean this." And they're like, "Oh, we don't say it like that. We just say it differently or something."
If you study the language and you're very literal, I'm sure there's things that once you know the language, you're not as literal about, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, I could see. Oh, and there's so many strange phrases that Americans use.
I know. It's funny. It's like, what was this one? Or even the one where you like pick who's doing something, like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Yeah. And I was listening to it and I was like, this is such a weird thing to say. Like if you translate it to Dutch, it's like, we would never say something like that. But then we have our own, like, eeny, meeny, mitte. And then,
really?
And I was trying to translate that into English, like I was explaining it. And they're like, what do you guys say? Like, it's so, if you really think about it, it's like kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm sure every language has some strange things, and we all do some stuff or say things that don't make sense if it's translated literally.
Yes, yeah.
What do you, I know I've asked you this before, but remind everybody what you're studying and what you want to do when your basketball career is over.
So my major is interior design and I have a minor in business.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've I read an article the other day about college students. Now, this in the South, I think it was like SEC schools, and it has to be wealthy families because the average family could not do what I'm about to say. But there were college students that were hiring interior designers to decorate their dorm rooms.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if you want to put some posters up around campus, because if you've got some higher end clients that might come out of the woodwork and say, yeah, I'm over on East, could you come over and I'll pay you, $50 an hour to decorate my dorm room. That seemed very strange to me, but I'm sure you probably have decorated your own.
I mean, yeah, especially in like some classes, we have to like decorate just a dorm room or like a restaurant or whatever. And even this new thing in the Moss, like one of my classmates actually decorated it for her class, which is pretty cool, and they actually use it now. So yeah, they ask us to like decorate like stuff on this campus too, which is cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
What's the ultimate dream job?
I'd like to be an architect. So
really?
Yeah. So I want to make my own house, design my own house, and
wow.
Yeah, I like houses better, I'd say, than like bigger buildings, but anything, yeah.
I took a class called drafting, which is sort of like intro to architecture probably, where you could draw the floor plans and stuff like that in high school. I wasn't all that great at it. It took me about 4 years to finish the house because it was kind of one of those classes that it was, it was a serious class, but for the people that wanted to do it for a living, it was more serious than the ones of us that were just doing it because as an elective, and it was fun. But I always kind of thought they wouldn't have let me do that in this class, to build a house that has a basketball court in it, even if it's just a half court, maybe one end of the house that have a 2-story house, and it's just, this is getting into, you'd have to be making some pretty good money to be able to build a house that has a basketball court in it. But now I know if I ever get to that point that I can afford to have a basketball court in my house, I know who I can call.
I can design it
that can design it for me. That would be, Let's go crazy. Let's say I've made enough money and we'll put a whole full court basketball. Let's just do the whole thing. And a swimming pool.
Okay.
And a bowling alley.
We can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what lottery I'm going to have to win to get to that point where we're building this house, but I'm going to call you.
Okay.
But in the meantime, maybe you maybe you can do some dorms to make a little extra cash on the side. That's pretty cool. Well, last question for you, because we've barely talked about basketball to this point. This season, and I know there's some seniors on the team, and when you talk to the Emmas and the Bellas, it's championship or bust. It's we want to win a championship before we're done. And I know you've got some time left, but do you have that same kind of sense that this team can pull together, and this is a year that you guys could hold the trophy up?
Yeah, definitely. I think this is a perfect year to do that. Just because we have so many seniors and we have the experience and we know how it feels to be second every year. And we're just kind of done with that. So, and I think Bella, Emma, and Jordan, they deserve a trophy. So, yeah.
Well, let's go get it. I'm going to close on this note because I'm looking. You always have really colorful outfits, and when you do the fit checks with Amber before, Bella and you and Emma too. Like you guys, it's usually some nice sneakers. You can't really see the sneakers in the shot right now, but do you kind of take pride in those pregame outfits?
I do. I like some clothes and some nice shoes. Yeah, not even just pregame. I just wearing it on campus and outside. Yeah, I like my clothes, so I like to dress up a little bit.
Well, there was an old hockey coach that used to say, if you look first class, you'll play first class. And so if you like the way you look, you'll probably like the way you play that night. So
I like that.
That's a nice strategy. If you show up to the game looking like a bunch of bums, you're probably going to play like a bunch of bums.
Yep.
If you kind of feel good about what you're doing, then it's going to translate onto the court. Well, obviously keep up as the season goes along, but it's awesome to see you back and playing and healthy and getting, back into the swing of things, because I know it was sad not having you out there, but I know it was even worse for you having to go through all that last season. So it's just happy to see you back.
Thank you.
That was Pien Steenbergen. We'll be back with head coach Carey Green right after this here on the Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show.
At Carter Bank, we believe life is best lived full of opportunities and dreams, of goals achieved and promises kept. We've been creating opportunities for more people and businesses to prosper since 1974. That means great local lending, convenient access to your money, accounts and guidance that make it easier to get more done. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames Athletics. Visit carterbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Curious about the Central Virginia housing market? Carl Miller Realty are your caring, competent, trusted advisors for real estate sales in Central Virginia. With over 100 years of combined experience, they are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk.
You're listening to the Liberty Women's Basketball Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Today's show will continue after this 1-minute timeout on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Thompson Brooks Insurance has been serving Virginia for over 40 years, helping individuals and businesses with their insurance and investment needs. The team at Thompson Brooks is experienced in understanding life and health insurance, Medicare, and retirement planning. Thompson Brooks Insurance can be reached at 434-385-8500 or online at thompsonbrooksinsurance.com. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow.
Century Exteriors offers exterior home renovations, including but not limited to gutters, roofing, siding, home additions, and much more. Century Exteriors makes the process seamless. Call 434-239-6722 for a free on-site estimate or visit centuryexteriors.com and Century Exteriors on Facebook and Instagram. Century Exteriors is a proud supporter of Liberty Flames Athletics.
Welcome back into this week's Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show. And I need to come up with a different, the synonyms, you look in a thesaurus, other ways to say a word. I say the same thing every single time we come back. Welcome back into this week. I got to come up with something. I need to be like, hey, everybody, what are you doing? Welcome back into the show. No, okay, that was pretty lame too. I do want to do this before we get into our conversation with Coach Green. Those that are listening on the podcast have no clue what I'm talking about. But if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, you notice that I've got this ridiculous mustache that makes absolutely no sense. And you're probably thinking, why does this guy think he can grow a mustache? I can't, and I wouldn't. There's a charitable thing going on right now called Mustaches for Kids in Lynchburg, M4K Lynchburg, and we're raising money for kids' charities in the Lynchburg area, so donate if you would like. But that's the reason for this ridiculous mustache, is we now bring Coach Carey Green on, who has a much nicer beard than I have a mustache. And that's probably the most interesting introduction I've ever given you in the 20 whatever many years that we've been together. But it all gets to the same point. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Mustaches and beards aside, the Lady Flames played. Talk about unique introductions. How about a unique game? In all the years that we've been together, I don't think that I've ever been able to say to you, you scored 93 points and didn't win. It was a high-scoring game for the fans, certainly the fans in orange. It was an exciting game. It was an exciting game for everybody because it really did have a professional feel or an international feel to it, because it was just up and down, a lot of points scored, shooting percentages for both teams were high. I know you didn't get the result that you wanted, but it's a little bit of a Jekyll and Hyde situation. There's a lot of positives you can take from that game at Tennessee as well.
Yeah, it was certainly entertaining from a fan's perspective. If you have any inkling of being a defensive coach or anything. It was a nightmare for both teams. But it was certainly entertaining, and there's some positive things that we could take from that. One lesson would be we got to be consistent, and the games last 3 games, inconsistent with Duke for 1 quarter, well actually 2 quarters, and won 2 quarters, but there was already enough damage done that we couldn't dig out of a hole there. And against Tennessee, damage done in the first quarter, and we couldn't survive that. We fought back and won next 3 quarters, but that's the positive side. But we just got so far behind, and they made a lot of shots, and it was entertaining. And you're absolutely right. I'm sitting there with about 3 minutes to go. We got 93 points, and I go, man, 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes. I mean, over 2 minutes to go. I thought, we're going to score 100 points and lose this game. And we missed some shots, had a turnover, and missed some free throws there to get 100. But certainly entertaining, encouraging in some ways that when we get open shots, we can make them. Discouraging, we got to take care of the ball better. And that'll be against any opponent. And we turned the ball over too many times, and they were active turnovers, meaning easily turned into points. And typically a turnover is 1 for 1, meaning 3 turnovers is worth about 3 points. Could be 6 or more, but typically the equation is 1 for 1. And unfortunately, they got 38 points off of turnovers, and that really impacted the outcome of the game.
Last Thursday, I was talking with Alan York, and we were doing the football show, and he said, jump on for a few minutes and give us an update on women's basketball. So we were going through things, and he had the stats up, and I've got the stats in front of me now. And I said, the thing that stands out to me on this stat sheet is at that point, Bella Smuda was averaging under 10 points a game, and I think the rebounds were under 6 or something like that. I was like, the thing that I know for sure is by the time this season ends, those numbers are not going to be there. She's going to be averaging close to a double-double, way more points, and the rebounds are going to go up as well. I didn't realize that she was going to make me sound like a genius in one game, because she scored so many points that now she's the leading scorer on the season average-wise. She's up to about 14 points a game, and the rebounds are moving their way up towards 7 as well. So big game for her, and she, I don't want to say she struggled in the first 3 games of the year, but she certainly didn't play as dominant as we're used to, and she played great against Tennessee.
Yeah, that was the Bella that we want to see every game. Good players and good teams are going to be consistent, and if you're not consistent, things don't always go your way. And Bella has not really stepped up until challenged against a decent game against Duke, but certainly a mature 50-year senior that wants to win. She stepped up and played very good against Tennessee. We just got to continue to have that consistency. You know, I don't know if it's the smaller players are shoving and pushing her and displacing her, or what. I don't know what it is, but I've been sharing with her, you know, it's time for you to shine. And the points just don't come to you. You have to hunt them down. You have to look for them. And that means there's typically some actions that are going with hunting. And she's done an exceptional job this past game with Tennessee, and a good opponent.
On the flip side, you go from a 5th-year senior to a brand new freshman, and Avery Mills. I say career high, 4 games in. The career high, of course, she's set a pretty good bar now. It's not gonna be the easiest. If your career high was 2, and then it goes to 6, and then it goes to 7, and now it's 9. Okay, you still got some work to do. But she jumped all the way to 19 against an SEC opponent. Solid game for the freshman.
Yeah. Once again, inconsistency, but she's got the talent, just like Bella's got the talent. And yeah, I didn't hesitate to go to her on the bench because I'm seeing her in practice, and it just seems like the youthfulness, sometimes the emotions, take each of us to a different place. And she was ready to play, and she had earned opportunities to get on the court, and I really celebrate with her. She's going to have a bright future, and we're very proud to have her here, and she's a perfect fit. She's a strong Christian young lady, and this is just a home for her. And we're certainly glad that we have her here, and we look from the basketball perspective, look to the future, and excited about that with her.
We spoke with Pien a little bit earlier on the podcast. She's still not 100%. It's going to take a little while to kind of get back into the rhythm. But at the end of her freshman season, and you can speak to this more than I can, the summer workouts leading up to practice before she got injured at the beginning of last year, she was, correct me if I'm wrong, but she was kind of on a path to be a starter and get a ton of minutes, and then the knee injury, and she had to miss all of last year. Where is she at in that process?
Yeah, she was projected to be either a starter or somebody contributing as more than she did as a freshman. And she had some great minutes and great moments as a freshman. It's just unfortunate she had to go through the knee surgery and the injury. And yet I think there's some things that she learned from that. And it's showing up now. She is, I think I got high expectations. She's got high expectations. It's just going to take some time. And, we're going to see the real Pien in the future. Right now, she is going to be, what's best for her is to play with that knee brace. And that way, just continue to heal. And next summer she takes that thing off, and next year she won't be playing with it. And she's healed up very, very well. It's just a game of basketball's rhythm, and she's working hard at that. And she's going to be good. She's going to be good. It's just unfortunate it takes some time, and I don't have any angel dust or any sparkle or whatever that could help her. It's just going to take some time. And we're certainly glad to have her here. And she's, I know, probably frustrated a little bit. I don't know how the interview went, but she's a bright young lady. And certainly has skills, and more than anything, when she came to Liberty, she was a non-believer. Now she's a believer. So there's an eternal impact on her life here, and we're certainly glad to see her grow in her faith here as a basketball player as well.
Coach, we got a couple minutes left. You're sort of in a lull right now as far as games are concerned. After Tennessee, you'll have over a week before you play at Towson, but then it really heats up at that point. You play Towson, you get on a plane, you fly all the way across the country to play Grand Canyon. You get on a plane, you fly all the way back to have Thanksgiving dinner, and the next day, I guess, fly back on Wednesday to eat the next day, and then you have a game again before the week's up against Christopher Newport in Liberty Arena. So kind of hectic, lull, hectic again. What's it going to take to get 3 wins in this coming 7-day period of time?
Well, get healthy, and Jamie, this is exactly how we opened the season up with a Valpo and a Duke, and then a Cal Baptist. We had like 3 games in 7 days or 6 days, and so it's a repeat. It's a little bit backward though. We're going to go 2 games on the road and 1 game home, and this is at the end of the academic year. So even today, it's a short practice. It's more about skill work today. The practice will be an hour at most and probably around 45 minutes, to tell you the truth. And we're trying just to have them encourage them all this week, because we'll be traveling on Saturday to get those papers done, to get ready for that final, and to get ahead in academic, to take off that stress. Oh, I got to turn this in by midnight on Friday night and things like that. To not put them in themselves in stressful situations from an academic perspective and travel. We do everything we can there. But that lull is really take a deep breath. Let's focus on some academics, and we'll be preparing for 3 good opponents coming up, and certainly a Towson team that's hungry for a win, and a team that beat us last year. And I think they beat us in overtime.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be tough on the road. And then Grand Canyon, they had a big win against, I think, Arizona State. Always tough at home, really get after you on the defensive end, and then we come home. So just have to be prepared and be healthy, and remove ourselves from undue stress by taking care of the academics ahead of time and get plenty of sleep. Come on, it's getting brutal this time of year.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Wish you the best on this trip.
Thank you, Jamie.
And that will finish up this week's Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show. If you'd like to follow along with the Lady Flames, go to libertyflames.com. You can get all the information that you need as far as game notes and all the stuff Paul Carmody does to get you prepared for each game. And then you can also buy your tickets for that Christopher Newport game on Saturday. Again, libertyflames.com will keep you up to speed, as well as all the social media accounts as well. Until we talk again, this is Jamie Hall saying so long and God bless.
You've been listening to the Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Radio Show with head coach Carey Green. Today's show has been presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Start banking with Freedom First today. The Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show has also been brought to you by Carter Bank. Life lived full. Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Freedom Heating and Air, serving those who serve us. Carl Miller Realty, caring, competent, trusted advisors. Lynchburg Nissan, nobody beats our prices. Nobody. Century Exteriors, experience and quality you can trust. Schedule a free estimate at centuryexteriors.com. And by Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow. Liberty Flames Basketball is an exclusive presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.